Namaskar. Today it's May 4th, 2026. Each year on March 14th begins my 100-day journey in returning to the essence of yoga in celebration of International Day of Yoga on June 21st. This year I chose to revisit Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sūtra and share my daily practices inspired by it. Welcome to day 52 of Satvik Yogi Path. And today I am very happy to share with you all that today we begin chapter 2, Sādhana Pāda. We completed Samadhi Pad chapter 1 yesterday, day 51. And today we begin chapter 2. This is a chapter of discipline, inner work. It is a path of practice. Practice, inner work, discipline. And chapter 1 described the mind. Chapter 2 tells us what to do with that mind. So our Satvik Yogi Path is gentle, it's classical, it's navel-centered approach to yoga rooted in the Yoga Sūtra and open to people of all backgrounds and belief systems. It is simple, clean, steady, and grounded in Aṣṭāṅga Yoga, the eight-limb system compiled by Maharshi Patanjali in somewhere about sometime about 250 BC, which is the foundational text of Raj Yoga, focusing on the mind, philosophy, and the eightfold path to liberation. Aṣṭāṅga Yoga. Once again, welcome to day 52 of Satvik Yogi Path. Today, as we begin chapter 2, Sādhana Pāda, the path towards practice, Yoga Sūtra 2.1, that is first Yoga Sūtra from the second chapter, Sādhana Pāda. Let us recite the Sutra. Tapas svādhyāya Ishvara praṇidhānāni Kriyā Yoga. Once more. Tapas svādhyāya Ishvara praṇidhānāni Kriyā Yoga. Now, if I have to break it down word by word, tapas. Tapas is discipline, steadiness, warmth. Svādhyāya, it's made up of two words. Swa is self, adhyay is study. So which means self-study or reflection or the inner work, inner inquiry. Ishvara praṇidhāna. Ishvara praṇidhāna is surrendering, acceptance, or just letting go. And Kriyā Yoga, the yoga of action, preparation, purification. So these three practices, tapas, svādhyāya, Ishvara praṇidhāna, or discipline, inner work, and practice, is the path towards preparing the mind for deeper yoga. So once again, these three practices together, tapas, svādhyāya, Ishvara praṇidhāna, form Kriyā Yoga, yoga of action, the foundation of the disciplined practice. Chapter 2. Maharshi Patanjali explains, this is how Maharshi Patanjali explains that Sādhana Pāda is the Sādhana Pāda, the second chapter, Sādhana Pāda, begins with a simple truth. Before the mind becomes still, it must become steady. So, in the first chapter, we were learning how to steady the mind, and then it would just still or quiet. So, this is the simple truth and basic truth that before the mind becomes still, it must become steady. Before clarity becomes natural, discipline must become natural. Kriyā Yoga prepares the mind by warming it. Tapas, clarifying it. Svādhyāya, the self-study, reflection, and softening it. Surrender, acceptance, or just letting go. This is the ground on which all deeper yoga rests. Sādhana Pāda. Now, let me present to you an analogy of the soil before the seed. You cannot plant a seed in hard soil. Well, I can take an example from my own kitchen garden. I had few pots with older plants which are no more sort of active. I wanted to reuse the soil. So, preparing, I knew that I cannot plant a seed in hard soil. So, I softened it, I warmed it. It's like warming up the soil, not really warm it, but softening it, warming it up. I prepared the soil. Maharshi Patanjali says that Kriyā Yoga, the yoga of action, prepares the mind. The way a gardener prepares the earth. And also from the book that I also refer to by Swami Dayanand Saraswati, his teaching, I will share his insights on Yoga Sūtra 2.1. Swami Dayanand Saraswati explains that Kriyā Yoga is not a separate path. It is the preparation of all paths. Tapas steadies the mind. Svādhyāya clarifies the mind. And Ishvara praṇidhāna, surrender, softens the mind. So, since you cannot plant a seed in hard soil, you must first soften it, you warm it, and you prepare it. And together, they make the soil just ready for the seed. And here, tapas, svādhyāya, Ishvara praṇidhāna just make the mind ready for yoga. It's the preparation. Practice begins when the mind becomes warm, clear, and soft. So, what are we practicing today? We will practice gentle steadiness, that is tapas. We will self reflect, that is svādhyāya. and we will practice how to let go. That is Ishvara praṇidhāna. And then jap, soft repetition of Om, and ending with bhavna, contemplation on preparation. So let's begin our stillness practice by first sitting comfortably. Now, if you remember, when I say sit comfortably, your back and spine straight, your chin slightly tucked in, and roll your shoulder if you have to. Your chest opens up, your back and spine straight, and let us just let the breath fall into the navel. So place one hand onto your navel lightly. Let me move a bit so you can see. On your navel lightly, and you would let your breath, your navel is your anchor, let it fall softly on your navel by breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. We are practicing to settle and soften our breath. One last time, breathe in, breathe out. Now we practice tapas. So how do we practice tapas? Now we will, so tapas is we are preparing, right? So we are preparing, what we do here is we hold our spine steady. Again, you sit comfortably, back and spine straight. Now, as you breathe, take few breaths, you will hold your spine steady, not moving. So to begin with that, back and spine straight, chin slightly tucked in, and in we are practicing tapas. So we will steady our spine with the breaths. So if you, let's take 3 breaths and keep our spine steady. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And open your eyes. So keeping it straight. Now the next comes is we are keeping our spine steady. Now the next one comes is svādhyāya. Svādhyāya, swa, adhyāya, that is self-study. Now we would notice one pattern in the mind without judgment. Isn't this going to be interesting? Without judgment. So we have practiced that, not judging our breath when we try and settle our breath, not judging it, just watching it, just observing it. So, we will notice one pattern in the mind without judgment. So, let us practice that. As we breathe in and we get thoughts in our mind, we will not judge it. So, notice one pattern. And open your eyes. So in tapas, we we made sure that our spine is steady with the breath, right? So the second part comes svādhyāya. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. Yeah. So let me get back to second, which is svādhyāya, which is self-study, reflection. So we notice one pattern in the mind without judging. And without judging, till day 51, we have been practicing how to not judge as we breathe, or how not to judge when thoughts keep coming. So, what we do is that we keep bringing our focus back to our navel. We keep bringing our focus back to navel. So that's how, just as a witness, just observing, just watching. So now let us practice surrender, which is Ishvara praṇidhāna, the third step. Let the breath soften with the pattern. So the first one we practiced steadying our spine with the breath. Next, we noticed a pattern or a thought without judging it. And the third, now we would let the breath soften with the pattern. And how to do it again? Back and spine straight. And we just breathe in, breathe out. And so, just to give you an idea, what we are practicing is that we are practicing to not how not to judge, just observe, just notice, take notice, not judge, no judging, not chasing, not following, not becoming that pattern, not become influenced by that pattern, just watching it. So in watching it, we soften our breath, we steady our spine. So we are doing all these tapas, svādhyāya, and Ishvara Pranidhan. Ishvara Pranidhan, we are just learning to let go. Just learning to let go. And now with that in mind, we will practice three Om. And as we have discussed before, that Om, that rises in the belly, which moves through the chest, and the vibration softens at the lips. So let us practice it three times. Once again, you can place your hand lightly on your navel And let's begin. Few short breaths. Now remember, your spine is steady. You have noticed one pattern or a thought without judging it, and you are softening your breath because you're practicing letting go. And now, with that, we practice jap, which is Om. Take a deep breath in, and with exhalation, Om. Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. Take a deep breath in. Om. And stay with this. And now let's practice bhavna, the contemplation. That practice begins with preparation. Practice begins with preparation. So close your eyes and contemplate on practice begins with preparation. Tapas, svādhyāya, Ishvara, praṇidhāna. Practice begins with preparation. So I have this chapter 2 as it prepares us for deeper yoga. Chapter 2, Sādhana Pāda, prepares us for deeper yoga. So we are preparing. We practiced how we were preparing our spine to be steady just for the breaths. And then we noticed the pattern, one single pattern, and then softening our breath with it. So, not judging the thoughts. So, practice happens when we prepare. Day 52 teaches us that practice begins with preparation. I would say that I'm very happy that I have you on the 52nd day of my 100 days journey. 52nd day, and we already began chapter 2, which is Kriyā Yoga, yoga of action, Kriyā Yoga. And I'm so thankful that you have joined. Thank you so much for your time. We meet again tomorrow. Until then, stay warm, stay open, and most importantly, stay honest to your own story. Thank you.